One of my goals with the Pro Organizer Studio podcast is to feature inspiring professional organizers who are living their dream in a wide variety of areas, life circumstances, backgrounds, and goals for their business. I hope you'll enjoy today's Inspired Organizer feature, Kandy Negus.
You're listening to the Pro Organizer Studio podcast with Jen Obermeyer. Thank you for joining in. Jen makes it her mission to broaden the horizons of savvy businesswomen in the organizing industry by instilling confidence and inspiring authenticity. She is a devoted business coach and founder of the Inspired Organizer program. Each week, you'll gain new insight into strategies designed specifically for professional organizers. And now, let's get started.
Welcome, Kandy. I'm so excited that you're on the Pro Organizer Studio podcast. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Hey, okay, so tell us your business name, where you're located, a little bit about you.
Okay, Jen, I am located in Mobile, Alabama. I'm a Southern girl, and my business name, Order Your Spaces. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and I have a website.
Awesome. Okay, and how long have you been in business?
Well, I actually launched my website and my social media last July.
Congratulations. That's really big. It's like definitely a big milestone to get to that first year. How long before that, though, did you kind of know about professional organizing and have any inkling that this might be something that was for you?
Well, I had known about it, Jen, for 10 years because my
Oh, really?
daughter in a larger city, Birmingham, and in Birmingham, there have been some pro organizers out there for 5 to 10 years. And so my daughter had been saying, Mom, you need to do this. And I kept saying, nobody in Mobile is going to pay me to do that.
Mm.
This conversation went on for 10 years. She would send me, this was before Instagram, she would send me Facebook people to follow and that kind of thing. Like, Mom, you can do this, you can do this. But I didn't have the courage until a year ago.
So that's so interesting. And I love that you had your daughter cheering you on all along the way. Did you tell us, did you have a previous career or something that, really connected in her mind that you would be really great at doing this for people one-on-one?
I just think I've always been organized and
Yeah.
grew up in my home, and my daughter is not organized. So she does have the structure and she does know how it works, but it's not her love language.
Mm-hmm.
And so growing up in an organized home and then being a young married mom, she just looks around and goes, "Oh, everybody can't do this. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this without my mom's help." So that, growing up in an organized home, growing up in a structured home with laundry routines and meal routines, and as a girl, she always, wanted to go shopping, and so it would be, well, let's go in here and clean your closet out first. All of her friends didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So that, and then the fact that probably every secular job I've had outside my home for the last 3 decades have all been administrative, event planning. I've done some, I think you have too, I've done some wedding event planning. And when my boys were in high school and they played sports, I would organize the whole entire Friday night football. It would be volunteers, it would be the tailgating, it would be the concession stands, the whole gamut. And so I just always have had my hands in, and it's just come very natural. Anything that involved a lot of people, a lot of planning, and a lot of puzzle pieces, I love to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know I totally relate, and I know so many people listening can relate because they've always been that person who takes that role and likes that we like the challenge of working with all those puzzle pieces. So
Yes.
you mentioned that your confidence to make the leap and start a business out of doing this did not really come until a year ago. Now, what was it? And I know that we all kind of have to go through that research phase about creating a business. But what was it that finally, pushed you over the edge and said, let me try this? And yes, that you somehow apparently figured out that people in Mobile were interested. So tell us more about that part.
Okay. Well, about a year and a half ago, um, I outsourced these girls in Mobile to come help me design a patio, screen a patio in. I have that skill set, but I was working a full-time job. And there again, you sometimes, even if you have a skill set, you don't have the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I got these two girls, they came into my home, they put a design board together and kind of just did it for me. Okay. And I remember having this conversation with them, and I said, how much I love what they were doing. And I was so proud of them that they launched out and they were doing their dream. And I said, if I were ever going to do anything, I think I would like to organize. And then they said, hey, did you know there's a girl in Mobile doing this? You can go follow her on Instagram. I was like, no. So I started following this girl, and I followed her for 3 or 4 months. And then I said, if she can do this, I can do this.
Nice.
And that was it. Plus, Jen, I'm an empty nester. I'm in the season of life where I want to have more flexibility
Mm-hmm.
time with my daughter-in-laws, my daughter, my grandchildren. And I can tell you that 8 to 5 job will not give you that flexibility. And this gives me the flexibility that I need to be able to live the life I want to live at this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Well, that part makes me happier than anything for you, because I know, and I have seen, as I've gotten to know you, Kandy is such a remarkably encouraging person and kind person, and very supportive to everyone that is in the Inspired Organizer group. Particularly when it comes to, I notice that you always speak out when someone's a little bit nervous about putting themselves out there for the first time, or what it takes to kind of persevere with the actions it takes to move your business forward. And you have always, even and only with a year of business experience so far, you have always taken the time to tell people it is worth it and it pays off as long as you keep moving forward.
Yes. I have an accountability partner that I got through the Inspired Organizer program. And I really think if either one of us decided not to be in this business, we would be friends for the rest of our life. I mean,
That is amazing.
but I keep telling her, get over yourself. Get over yourself, because we're too critical of ourselves. We're analyzing the video to death. And Jen, nobody does that. They're just looking at the content and they're multitasking and they're cooking their dinner or they're driving in their car. They're not sitting there looking to see how many times you blinked or how many times you say, or they're not analyzing the video. So get over yourself and put it out there.
I love that. And that definitely sums up your, encouraging and cheerful and, kind of a little bit of tough love attitude. So if there was someone out there like you who is in that place where you were a year and a half ago, where you were still saying, oh, if I ever did want to do a business, it would be organizing. What would you tell them today that would help move them out of that, like, whoa, I'm just thinking about it phase, to like, hey, I could actually do this?
It's so rewarding to do what you love. All the jobs that I had previous to this, I was good at. I'm good at administrative tasks, but it's not what energizes me at the end of the day. What energizes me at the end of the day is coming into someone's home and helping them get rid of all the clutter and live in a structured or organized space. Okay, so what would I tell someone? Join the IO program. I mean, I could not, I can just tell you there's lots of things that you have to know to run a business, and I didn't know all those things. Did I know how to organize someone's home? Yes, but I didn't know how to put myself out there. I didn't know how to write emails. I didn't know how to go about getting business insurance. And so I do believe it would be hard to do this if you did not get some business coaching, at least get some business coaching from someone that can help you. So I would say do it. I did it by sending a text to 50 contacts in my cell phone. I did not have a website. I did not have social media, but you have to start somewhere. And I think what I see a lot of women in a lot of the private Facebook communities that I'm in, I mean, they're working on their website for a year. And I'm like, girl, just forget it. Just get out. Your life is, but Jen, I know that I'm in a different season of life, than the 30 somethings. And so I had to dive in. There's no, I'm going to spend a year building my website and then, 6 months coming up with a cute name. And there just wasn't time for all of that. I didn't want to spend time doing all of that. So get you a business coach, do what you love, start with your cell phone and get you some clients. All of them got the really friendly discount, but I didn't work for free. But I got started. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I got started. And then I did the Facebook and Instagram, and then I did the website. And I actually bartered my website. I organized a girl's whole home for her to do my website. You either have to give up your time or give up your money. So which one have you got? Mm-hmm. I gave up time. And I like my website. It's professional. And so I'm saying I was good to go. Like, let's just get this ball rolling.
Absolutely. And if you don't mind speaking a little bit to this other fear, because I know that once you were in Inspired Organizer, we lay out some things to accomplish in your business. And like you said, you could spend a year working on your own website. That is also something that not only takes time, but takes technical skills. And one thing that I know that you have taken advantage of in the course and in the group is you came to me with a hot seat coaching call about some of the more technical aspects of social media and dealing with photos and that kind of thing. I know that that's another kind of intangible fear that some women have where they're just like, I can't run a business. I'm not technically savvy. Can you kind of speak to what you have been able to learn and pick up over the last year and how having a group to ask is really, really helpful?
Oh, girls, you can learn how to do anything. Okay. I'm digitally challenged because I didn't grow up in this digital world like you girls did. I mean, I can remember my first couple of Instagram stories. My daughter would text me real quick and say, you just posted that 3 times in a row. Yeah. So I'm like, so it's a learning curve. There again, nobody remembers those Bobos I made. Nobody stopped following me. It was funny. So yes, you don't, the thing that I enjoy, Jen, about being in the group and some things you've shared with me is you don't have to be 100% digital, but you do have to have a system. And so I'm kind of half in, half out. I have learned how to sync all my photos to Google Photos now. So I'm really proud of myself. I've learned how to take much better pictures with my iPhone 10. I don't need a professional photographer. I really can do a good job with that. I've definitely learned the ins and outs of Instagram and Facebook. And about the time I'm feeling confident with it, they make changes. They'll change the way you upload IGTV videos, and then I have to kind of refigure it out. But I can figure it out. Mm-hmm. It does help being in a group where you can post these kind of questions and people can weigh in, and there's people of all age ranges in the group. And so some of the more digitally challenged like myself, they can speak to me. Oh, Kandy, here's how you do that, because they're coming from the same place I'm coming from. Sometimes the 27-year-old cannot help me. She can't even fathom why I can't get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
But the 40-something that didn't grow up with this, she's like, oh, I got you, girlfriend. I can help you with this.
Yeah.
So I have outsourced my website. And in the beginning, I outsourced my newsletter until I got comfortable inside of the MailChimp program and learned how to do my own templates. And now I can do all of that. I mean, I'm amazed at what you can learn in 1 year. And it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun to do all this, and but not without help, not without some training. It could be frustrating if I didn't have people helping me
Mm-hmm.
to learn it all by myself. I'm not learning all by myself.
Yeah.
And last summer, I'm just like, oh, just stick my head in the sand. This is a lot of stuff to learn, but you can learn it.
Totally. So it sounds like to me that not only is having some business training and digital coaching is a huge asset. Having the group is a huge asset. But really, Kandy, I've got to give you all the credit, because for someone to move as quickly as they have in 1 year, I truly believe that your mindset and your sense of humor is that's really like one of the biggest assets that you have, because I love how you say, the mistakes were funny. We fixed it, we moved past it, we didn't obsess over it. Instead of, really kind of spiraling in anxiety and self-doubt. That is really one of the most inspiring things about you, and something I know everyone really appreciates as part of our group.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, if this isn't fun, then I don't want to do it.
Right.
And I'm not saying that every aspect of business has to be fun or it is fun, because some of it's just tedious. You just have to do the work. You got to balance your bank statement. There's just things you have to do. But I think that's a very small part of what we do. It has to be done, but I don't think it's the larger part.
Mm-hmm.
And, everybody needs somebody, and your accountability partner, you can ask them to do this for you. If my daughter was not doing this for me, Rachel would do this for me, which is my daughter will say, your face is too close in the camera and I can see your nose hairs. But if she weren't doing that, Rachel and I would do that for one another.
Yeah.
Delete, do over. It is nice to have somebody, and I feel that safe in the IO group. I don't feel like anybody's judging me. We're all in this together. And I get my accountability partner to practice her live videos in the IO group, because this is a safe place. And nobody's going to make fun of you. We're all in it together. We need a safe place that we can grow. Because it's not always as safe out there, but it's safe inside of a group of women that are all trying to do the same thing.
I totally agree. Okay, so speaking of growth, as as your grandkids are growing up and you have different things going on, like, how do you see this business, continuing to be that flexible and fun outlet for you?
Well, it's taken a year to finally get in a rhythm and have boundaries. This is something that I will say has been very hard for me this year, is drawing personal boundaries, like not checking your email and social media on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
5, treat it like an office job, because there's nobody that's my boss. And I can do this 24/7, but I can also burn out and quit if I do that. People like me that are driven have that tendency in life to do that. So I have some healthy boundaries. I only organize on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I don't do 3 days in a row because it is physical.
Mm-hmm.
I organize 2 days out of the week. I use 1 day for all my administrative, and the rest of it is playtime. And those are some boundaries that somebody maybe younger than me would not draw. Maybe they want to be more full on, and that's great. But I will say, organizing is physical, and even if you're a young woman, you probably cannot and do not need to do it 4 days in a row.
Right.
It's just, unless you're just doing 3-hour sessions every day. But going forward, I intend to maintain these boundaries. And actually, I would love to get more into speaking, and getting in front of video does not scare me. So I would love to talk more and work less. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And you would be fabulous at that.
So that's kind of where I see myself going forward. I do have 2 team members, and I really am looking for a younger team member, so that maybe I could ease myself into having a lead organizer And when I say a team, I mean small, like more than 2 or 3. Just keep it small, keep it manageable, because there again, this is something I love to do, but this is not my whole life. This is part of my life. And so that's kind of where I see myself going forward. I really would like to, in the future, find a younger woman that could be a lead organizer that I could trust to wear my name and go out there and represent me. And I'd like to talk more. I mean, I'd love having a podcast.
Oh, Kandy, I love that idea.
I would love it. I would love interviewing women in my city that are in different walks of life, different seasons of life, that have different skills, I kind of do that a little bit on my Facebook channel, in the sense of I interview different women, business owners in Mobile. So I'm kind of making my own rookie podcast a little bit.
Absolutely.
But anyway, that's kind of where I see it going in the next 5 years.
Well, I love that, Kandy, because you are a master encourager already. And whether you're just starting off in a rookie podcast kind of way or not, like that's not a new thing for you. So I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see you living your purpose through this business and finding other ways to continue doing that. I love your vision for your business and how much flexibility you have as an organizer to kind of, as seasons of life continue to change, have a schedule that works for you, bring on team members that can help do different parts of the business. I'm so
Thank
thrilled.
you. I'm just so honored that you asked me to. I don't really feel like I have that much to say.
Oh my! Now that can't possibly be true. Listen, Kandy. This is
what I'm saying. Everybody already knows this.
Oh, so interesting. That's like a little key to your next step, because I don't think, not everybody is at the level of confidence that you are. And this is what it's all about, with, Inspired Organizer, is about organizers living from a very inspired place and how they're approaching their clients and their whole life. So this is going to be truly impactful, not just to, our audience who's listening, but I think, hopefully for you and your confidence with moving forward, doing your own podcast and putting your message out there. So people need to hear it. People do not already know everything that you've got to share.
Well, I think this is the thing that I try to, when I'm having some off weeks or off days and wondering, did I do the right thing? Because we all do have those little self-doubting moments. The thing that I tell myself is, I've got life experience. I may not know the whole entire digital world, but I've got life experience, and life experience counts for something. So my most recent, I'll just share this as we end today, Jen, but my most recent client last week, this sums up why I do what I do. We walk in to show up for our first session. I've got my 2 team members with me, and we walk in the door, and she's met me because I've done the walkthrough and the home consult and the phone consult, but she hasn't met my team members. So we walk in, and we're all pumped and excited and ready to get started, new job, and she starts crying, and she says, I am overwhelmed. My 2 team members teared up. I mean, we're all a hot mess. And I put my arm around her and I said, but I'm not overwhelmed. You are, but I'm not. And we're going to transform this kitchen today so that you don't ever have to feel overwhelmed again. This is why I do what I do. We can make a difference in somebody's life. We just can, and that's so rewarding. Answering the phone and being an office manager was something I was good at, but at the end of the day, it wasn't rewarding. It was a paycheck. Good job, glad to have it, but it's not a passion.
Wow. All right, Kandy, you just brought down the house. I'm crying. I'm crying. You're crying. Everybody is listening is crying.
Yeah. It just, sometimes when women let you in, they really let you in. And that's what she was feeling. I can't do this. I said, no, you can't, but I can, because I'm good at this. I mean, we organizers do this because we know we're good at it, or we wouldn't be doing it. We're good at it in our own homes. We're good at it when we do the PTA. We're good at it when our kid signs up for soccer. We're good at it when our daughter takes dance. We're just good at it. But I'm not good at cooking. So, hey, bring on the outside. We're not good at everything, Jen.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Kandy. Thank you so much for sharing your story. You have no idea how much the things that you have experienced growth in the past year, and being able to articulate that is immensely valuable to these podcast listeners, and to everyone that you're going to impact in the future. Thank you.
Let me give you a big shout out, because I will tell you, last summer when I launched my business without the help of IO, and I didn't know everything I was doing wrong because I wasn't in a program. So I looked at a lot of classes, business programs out there, and I found you on YouTube. I resonated with you. I said, I like this girl. She is down to earth. I can understand everything she's saying. She's not talking over my head, and she's really smart. And this is the program I want to be in. And there are other programs, but yours was the one that just was speaking my language. So thank you. I wouldn't be here without you. I would not.
Thank you, Kandy. That's hard for me to even still wrap my brain around, but it means a lot to me, because I know that, sure, there's definitely other choices, but I appreciate that a lot. A lot. Okay, Kandy, tell us one more time. Order your spaces. We can see you 3 times on your Instagram stories. Just kidding. We'll see you on your Instagram stories at, is it just Order Your Spaces on Instagram?
Order Your Spaces, and then Order Your Spaces on Facebook. Order Your Spaces is my website. It's easy.
Awesome. Love it. And we can't wait to follow your journey with whatever comes next, with your speaking, with your potential podcast. I am speaking that into reality because it sounds like such a great idea to me.
Oh, that's a whole nother digital world.
Thank you so much, Kandy, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, Jen. Bye now.
Thank you for listening to the Pro Organizer Studio podcast. If you'd like to learn more about time-saving services and resources for professional organizers, visit www.proorganizerstudio.com. And if you'd like to get Jen's roadmap to success for launching and growing your professional organizing business, go straight to www.poroadmap.com.